Test, test. Hey. All right. Looks like we're live. Sorry, another impromptu. I'm sure people were thinking Friday, but yeah. So, oh, I turned off my camera. God dang it. Hold on. Yeah, I gotta re-enable that. So, it's been a while. Been pretty busy. Um, been working on a new design. So this is what we're going to be calling the Palm Mall, which is kind of like a little more robust bat top. Uh, I don't know. I have big hands, and so a lot of these tops just kind of really seem small, even though I'm kind of going off the same specifications I see on websites and whatnot. Trying to figure out what is kind of like the best feel. So I've let me see. So I got this one designed kind of based off same thing. I'm not sure if you can see it all too well. Kind of looks like a claw, um, and the nice thing is it fits right in your hand. I haven't actually tried it out yet, but I mean this thing's solid. So I'm pretty sure it'll do just fine. I'll have to put it through its paces first before I put a listing up, but this is definitely one of the things I've been working on. Hopefully, I get a listing up here soon. I've been working. One of the reasons why I'm doing this stream is because I've been, kind of trying to develop a good, solid methodology for, putting some sort of pattern or texture on actual, mesh of this and printing it out in ABS so that it retains the strength but still has some, appeal to it. The thing with FDM printing is it doesn't really get the fine detail, not like you would see with like a resin printer. Resin printer could capture all the detail, as long as I have like a good, LCD screen on it. Typically, it's like I think the popular ones are between 2K, 4K, and 8K resolutions now. So they're getting pretty good, but I'm just using ABS because I want something that's going to last, and it's not toxic. ABS is a lot of things already. Proven it's UV resistant, so you can leave it out in the sun, all that good stuff, without having to worry about it kind of deteriorating or falling apart. There's also, nice thing about these is you can sand them down, get a nice polish on them, but you don't, you can't get like, here's the, so here's what a standard size bat top looks like, or how big one is. And you can see how, compared to my hand, like I'm losing a couple fingers here trying to grab onto it. Um, but this is like, I think even maybe a little bit bigger. I know it's about 30 at its thinnest. It's about 30, I think 2 millimeters wide in circumference, or I should say in diameter. And then, but it's only about 55 or so millimeters. It's actually a little bit taller than that. But it's not that big, and you can see it in comparison to you know a regular. Oh, this is the skull ball top, but that's about the same. I think this one was like 38 millimeters in diameter at its widest, or possibly less. I'll look at the specs on that again. Actually, no, it would be way thicker than that. But anyways, you kind of, the height wise is about 38 millimeters on that, so you can kind of see how the differences in style. You got this. You can still, obviously, I have another one. It's kind of a smaller one that kind of based off another design I had, which is a little bit thinner already. But if you play with your fingertips, don't really use too much pressure on it. You don't put your palm into it. This will work just fine. You'll get pretty probably good control just using your fingertips on it. I haven't tested that one out yet either. I don't even think I've I haven't even put a thread in that yet. Put a thread in this one though. Now this one's kind of, like I said, the standard size. I'm trying to get up close, but you can kind of make out the detail. It's visually kind of there. You know, you can see it when the highlights it. You can kind of feel it, but it's hard to discern between the layer lines of the actual part itself. I'm sure if I were to polish it down a little bit, you'll be, you know, a lot easier to differentiate between. But you know, then it's so close though, and I'm even thinking of going back and into the base design and making this a little deeper, so it'll recess in a little bit more and be a little more evident when you grab it. That's the finger grip type side, you know. And one thing I try to do is be conscientious of when I design them, and I'll go over this with you guys here, is, you know, where is the user going to be interfacing with this? How are they going to be interfacing with this? You know, is there going to be any way for them, you know, without even looking at the piece, be able to differentiate or tell whether or not they have the correct grip for it or not? And the best way I came up to is just a variation of the foundation of shape. You know, so you have a lot going on right here because that's where your fingertips are going to be, but still keep it smooth so that it's not actually hurting you. That's another thing you gotta try to be conscientious of, is sharp angles or anything that could be jutting out, and possibly that's why I was kind of hesitant with the claw here, because you know, I didn't want people to cut themselves or, you know, somehow hurt someone else. So I even kind of clipped off the tip here in the design, and you know, I'll probably make another one, scale it down. So I don't know. I'm still kind of coming up with the naming of the style here. It's kind of dinosaurish. It's not that high res, and I'm still thinking of going back in. But you know, in the lighting, you know, I can still make out some detail there. Like, it's there. You kind of have to look at it in a certain light in order to see it, and that's kind of you know, I don't, not a big. I want it to be evident. Like, you see it on the shelf, you go to pull it off, like, you already know what that is because the design's there, you know. And the way I found it, the best, at least the best way I found, is to actually go through and kind of make the design a little more bigger chunks. Oh, I don't know why that keeps coming up. Work with bigger chunks, deeper recesses. Try to avoid jutting out unless it's larger shapes. You know, and work off of that. And try to stay away from doing the micro detail, because unless I want to spend a full day printing this thing, which I really don't, because they don't take much in terms of material, but yeah, it could take a while just to print like a ball top if you want like a really high resolution, but then that's me printing at like a 0.08 millimeter layer height and 0.08 millimeter width, so it's like a little 0.08 millimeter cube of ABS just being spread around. That'll take forever, and it's not really efficient. So I think, at least for me, was the kind of best point of this was to kind of develop a little bit further so that, you know, the item is recognizable, the user can interface with it and use it to their advantage with, and also not hurt themselves. So the last thing I want to do is hurt someone. So what I'm going to do here, I've kind of, you see on the right here, got these subtools, so I got it broken down. Let me pull up live booleans here so you guys can see it. Get things visual here. All right, so you see the kind of cut out the shape in the center there. That's basically the socket for where the threading is going to go into. I have it recessed around a 14 millimeter diameter cylinder, So that way, if someone's so inclined to use like a Link 2 or a Link Groove detachable shaft, they can do so without having to worry about that clearance. Right now, I think it goes down to between about 6 to 6.5 millimeters, something like that. So it's a little bit lowered, but it's more so that you can, at least the threading will have a chance. Because here, I could look at the. So you'll see the threading actually goes up to about right here, which is here. Whoop. Let me get this. So you see it's about right here. So when you're holding onto it, your the bottom finger interfacing and half of the secondary finger that's interfacing with this is holding on to, at least is having backing of that actual metal shaft with the brass on it. So it'll be pretty strong. And that's one thing I gotta test the other one out and see how, because this is going to be, the other one's much lower in terms of that because I think it tops out about right here. So I wasn't sure how well, but since it's ABS, it should hold up just fine. But I'll do some testing first before I go ahead and release that to the market. A lot of stuff to do. Main thing, the kind of thing I've been getting hung up on is just, getting a good workflow, getting a good methodology for designing these so that, they're visually appealing and functional and not a mess, Now, let me go ahead and do this. Turn that off. Can't really make it out too well because everything's kind of black, but I have it all separated out in colors right now for polygroups. So I go ahead and hold down Control and Shift, and then left click on a piece here. And that's all one polygroup. So that's kind of a big polygroup. I want to break this down a little bit more because I don't want to just try to stick a pattern across this big of a surface. It's not going to look good, and it'll probably not. Yeah, it just won't look good. And I want to break up the pattern here so that it's not so much of just looking like one pattern slapped across the whole thing. And that was it. So kind of laziness I like to avoid. Okay, so we'll grab that there and try to get like a clean edge on that. And I just want to try. I can hold down the space bar so I can actually move the masking rectangle here, so that way I can make sure I'm lined up to where I want to be masking wise. Want to not get. Oh, that's fine. I can go ahead and remove that. That looks a little bit cleaner. I'll just go ahead and make sure this is clean right here. Come on, I'm moving. Come on. There we go. Yeah. And then I want to make sure I get that in there. Alright, that's good. Okay. Let's see. I don't want any of that. I could, and I'm thinking back, I probably should, when I was actually modeling this out, set the polygroups early for this so that I wasn't having to do this so much, but hindsight's 2020. All right. So what I want to do now is differentiate this polygroup from the centerpiece here, have it be its own polygroup. So I'm going to go ahead and group masks here, and there you go. So I have that. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and let's see. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and just mask these off real quick so I can see how much this is actually going to be going out, because I want to kind of bring these edges out a little bit as little separate bands. So let me go ahead and just put wrong way. I want to unmask everything else. Okay, great. And then what I want to do here is actually, can I extract this? Yes, I should be able to extract that. So we'll go ahead and extract that out. So that way I don't have to be messing with the underlying geometry here, because I'm going to be, and that actually should work out a lot better if I extract that. It doesn't look like it did it. Extract. I don't think I made it thick enough. Not sure if it likes it. I'm running on a really high polygon right now, which probably is not healthy. I probably should. Oh wow. Oh, no, do that. No, I see what I did wrong. Here, let's, okay. I'll do this. Okay, now, extract. I think that's why I was having a spaz last. Oh wow. Okay, let's bring that down. We're gonna go ahead and make that not so thick. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. So I have a little bit of a chunk here now to work with, which is great. I don't have to worry about it. The underlying mesh or the patterns messing up with the actual extraction here. And the cool thing is, since now it's like this, great, I can clean up these edges here. So let me go ahead and undo that. I'm going to go ahead and get the knife rectangle out. And we're just going to go ahead and just clean up these top parts here. I'm going to do the same for right down here. Great. Yeah, so now I have nice clean geometry, which should translate well. I'll probably need to bring that part down a little bit, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and just keep cleaning up this mesh. Alright, I'm going to go do the same here. Okay, I'm going to move this. Let's go ahead and center that, and then just go ahead and bring that to the center, and then let's go ahead and expand that up a little bit. Let's bring it down. Yeah, that's better. And then let's see. flip it. I'll bring this back up here. Put it in the center. Alright, let's bring this part down. Yeah, see, I want to do this. Great. Let's take a look. Okay, that looks pretty clean. Good, good, good. Okay, so that looks good. Now, one thing I don't want to do is leave these edges like that. You see, these sharp edges can definitely pose an issue for a user, especially when they get printed. And to avoid having to spend, I guess, that time basically sanding these edges down so they're kind of rounded, I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit of polishing here on the surface here. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of polish. Okay, that cleans up those edges, and then I'll go ahead and just smooth a little bit here. Edges still look pretty sharp. Let's see, I might have to just go in. Actually, I have a better idea. So I want to go ahead and remesh by Z-remesher. Let's bring it up to 125. What does that look like? So I'm lowering the poly count here, so I can go back into Z-modeler and make the edges manually without having to mess with a bunch of other edges already existing there. And I'll just pump it back up, and it'll work out pretty well because this is all separate subtool from the base subtool. So whatever I do now is not going to interface with that. I just got to let it do its thing. It's going to just kind of chunk it down to a lower polygon. I set to 125, and we'll see if that works. How's everyone doing tonight? Okay, let me get this microphone a little closer to my face. Yeah. Can you hear me? Looks like I'm registered. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at that. Let's go back to here. And okay, I'm not sure what the deal is with that corner. Let me bring. What if we did 68? Sometimes less is more. Any second. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. I got a filter on. Let's turn that bugger off. There we go. Okay. What? See, the bottom mesh looks fine. I could work with that. I'm not sure what the deal is with that top mesh. Why it's going in like that. guess 50 is lowest. I mean, 50 should be able to do that shape just fine. I just don't understand why that corner's behaving like that. I mean, I don't know, if I gotta fix it manually, I'll fix it manually. It shouldn't be too hard. And in fact, I could probably do a mirror function on it. Let's see. Okay, so it's still doing it. Okay. Let's go to our Z modeler brush. So it looks like okay, so let's do this. Snap that there. My draw size. There we go. So more. Yeah, this is weird. I can see. Here, let me see what the geometry is doing on the underside. Yeah, it's doing something weird. Yeah. Not sure what the deal is. That's weird. Definitely looks lopsided. Pull that there. Okay. Yeah, I'm so not sure why that's doing that. It's gonna bug me. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then let's see. Don't want to collapse. I want to bridge. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just bridge this guy here to this guy. I'll do the same for this one. Great. Now I want to insert a single edge loop here. Great. Now let's go ahead and stitch. Yeah, 10 point. That'll work. Ooh, what is going on here? Oh. Ah. Yeah, that was my scale guide. Okay. Alright, so now what I need to do here is tell ZBrush where I want these edges to be a little sharper. Because I'm going to start buffing these up in terms of polygon count. I'm going to do so through dynamic here. Right now, this is what it would look like. And it kind of softened it up there, but it's still going to look pretty janky. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just go ahead and start creasing some edge loops. I'm going to do that guy. I'm going to do that guy. Come on, you save. That, you know, let's do that guy too. Let's see. Yeah, that looks nicer. All right, let's go through do the other parts here. Let's see, kind of same fare here. That part, I'll do that part, and I want to do this part. So that way, since I'm not doing the center one, it's going to get more of a round look to it. Now, you'll see there's going to be a little bit here that's at the bottom. And that's fine. I can fix that by just kind of scaling again, like I did before. But seeing how this is going to be on the bottom side, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. But now you can see, here, just bump this up. And then we'll take that off. And we get off this. Let's go on Matte Cap Gray. Okay. Now you can see the edge down here is not as sharp as like, say, for example, the top part here. But since I sharpened 2 and the top, so we have like a top plane, and the angle for the sharp edges isn't that harsh, so it should actually hold up pretty well. I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet. I can always go back and change that around here. But let's do this. Scale that. Okay, we're going to. Oh, that would have helped. Hold on. Let's see. I don't think I finished. Yeah, I'll accept the remesh. Gotta remember to do that, so that way I'm not. Alright, let's do this. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and scale, bring this back down. Center, scale it up. Great, that looks good. Let's flip that, bring this back up. Alright, let's lock that in place, and then let's scale on that axis there. See, that looks pretty clean. For curiosity's sake, I want to see if I do crease here. What's that going to look like? It's a little sharp. And sometimes if if you want to keep that sharp edge, but you don't want to cut someone, sometimes you gotta kind of do a bevel here. Let's see, show that off. Okay, so I want to. What is it doing? Huh. That's interesting. Why is it not letting me do an uncrease? That's weird. That was super weird. Normally it should allow me to just kind of hold down Alt with the crease edge loop complete still active in my Z modeler. Let me see if I just go back into it. God, no, it doesn't. That's so weird. I just have to do undo here. That's crummy, but that's fine. Get back to it. Just gotta go through a few undos here. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bevel this. Let's go ahead and do these. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna lose all that, but that's fine. I will live. Okay, now I'm going to crease again. Go ahead and just do those creases. Great. Go back down here. Let's go down to bevel. Do the same thing. Whoa, that's not the choice I was looking for. Yeah, should we just... Okay. So that is the choice I was looking for. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and just go back to crease. 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 And then I'll go ahead and crease these as well. Right. Oh, alright. We'll go ahead and mask. Don't need that. Let's see. Go back down. Lock it in. Scale up. Same thing. And then let's do it. Bottom part looks okay. Top part, I feel like need to be adjusted here, so I'll go ahead and mask that off. We're gonna go ahead and just expand this guy out a little bit. looks clean. Great. Let's go ahead and bump this up. Yeah, that'll look clean. Alright, well, we're going to leave this subtool like this for now, so we'll go ahead and get out of that. Let's go back. Great. So now, let's see. Now we want to get in there, do a little bit of surfacing on this. So it's definitely more than one way to do this. I'll show you a few of the ways here, because it's kind of difficult to get something already predefined. If you're just creating one from scratch, I'm sure it probably comes a lot more naturally. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and import an alpha here. Let's see. Where are you? Oh. Be helpful. I'm looking for. There's a couple of patterns I had grabbed here. I'm trying to find the right ones. Oh, no, that's not it. Where did I store that? I don't think it's there. Let's see. Oh, there's a few of them. I had some like dwarf patterns here, but I think we'll just. I have some Art Deco ones here, and I found my downloads that I found for free. So these are real easy. You know, I can't say they're easy to find nowadays. They used to be pretty easy to find, but now it's hard to find something that isn't, you know, non-commercial or that is commercial. You know, licensing wise. So. Alright, so I got this loaded, but can't really see anything. I'm going to just dump the noise from the background, and then I'll still go ahead and, so you can kind of see some detail here. Let's just go and make it bigger. Remember, we want to go big shapes. And then, so we've got something like this. Still, maybe not big enough. Let's bump it up a little bit more. It's kind of off center. Not exactly a fan of how that's looking there. Let's bring it down. Yeah, so here's the conundrum I run into with doing it like this is that you get one side, you know, unless you have it sectioned off, and then it's a matter of lining it up. Because I have this side right here that's not exactly lining up with what's over here, you know. And so it's kind of like a tug of war between what would be good looking, because I could just do, you know, the other way here. Which one was that? Was it 10? And so now, yeah, and you see it looks straight there, and then but the back is kind of eh. So it's kind of a balancing act in the sense of, and I could probably get away with doing something like this. Still looks tasteful. Only problem is, though, this kind of detail doesn't really show up too well when you print, so you kind of have to go bigger. Alright. Let's go. Something like this would show up just fine. And I could probably get away with something maybe like this. It's just kind of going for that aesthetic versus feasibility in the final product, Something like this, but then it may not show up that well. Granted, when I print these upright, so this is going to get a good chunk of the resolution from the print, because it's going to have the most surface area to cover, and it's going to be printing from the bottom up. But even still, unless I'm printing at a pretty fine resolution, at like a 0.08 millimeter layer height, it's still going to kind of look chunky. So it may just go some bigger. See, that's not bad. It goes something like this. That looks pretty clean. And what I can do right here is have a little bit of control over how the edge gets translated, because this is just a black and white image it's going off of that I created off a pattern I had downloaded, which was for commercial use, standard license. So anyone else could find this one as well and do the same thing I did, and it's totally, legit. So, and what I'm doing right now is kind of controlling the edge as it transitions from the highest point to the lowest point, and I can kind of give it a little bit of a curve. If I wanted to, just take that point, make it a little more of a curve, or if I want to just make it more sharper, I can do that. And I can look at it real time and see. Or if I just don't want anything at all, just boom, there, and it's just a straight line, which doesn't look too bad. Now then, just becomes a matter of getting that, that depth and the detail here. But we'll just roll with it. I think I'm kind of digging this one. So we'll just roll with this one for now, like that. So great. I'm gonna hit OK on that. It's gonna show it to me right here. It's still not technically applied to the mesh yet. It's just kind of representation. It's not applied to mesh until I hit apply to mesh here, and then it actually will kind of plug it in there. Boom, you can see now, and then I'll just hold down Shift and Control and then click, and then I'll get the rest of the geometry back from there. And so you can kind of see how that looks. It looks pretty good. A little bit of a harsh transition right here, but that's not. I already have this part sectioned off, so I can clean that up, no problem. Let's go ahead and trim that, and then let's see. Did I separate this? Okay, so that's still its own piece. Okay, so what I want to do here is go ahead and hide that. I'm going to click on it again, and that should bring up everything but that. And then I want to get this top piece to be its own, make the center loop part of the same polygroup here. So I'm going to go ahead and just mask that top part off right here. Okay. Just make sure I got it all. Yeah, looks good. All right, and then I'm going to go down to let's see, polygroup, group masked. Boom. Okay. So now clear that. Do that. So now it's its own little separate polygroup here, separate from everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to here. Oh, there we go. Okay. And now let's go back to doing surface. And we still have that same noise parameters loaded from before. Not sure what it's doing there at the bottom, but that's fine. It's weird. Hold on. Cancel that. I'll turn that off. Okay, and then I'm gonna go. Oh, no, I don't preview. Masking. No, I don't want mask. I want polygroup. There we go. Group masks. Great. Let's go ahead and do this. Bring everything back. Boom. Now I should be just that. Okay. Not that I don't think it would matter a whole lot. I just don't want to mess with the base mesh too much, you know? So, okay. Wait for it to autosave. Come on. Sure, not missing anything in chat. Yeah, I'm not missing anything. Okay. All right, so now we're back from autosave here. Let's go ahead and go back to surface. Where's that? Right here. Pop that noise back. Again, we got the same thing. The main reason why is that it's still going off that camera angle right there. So let me go ahead and just do that. Boom. Let's frame that. I'm going to turn the alpha off. Then simply go back and turn it back on, and that should basically give me the same setup as I had on the side there. So it's kind of off center. Let's see. Frame that. Not sure why it's catching that. Doesn't really show up, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty clean. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And it's kind of disjointed. Let's go back. Let's see. Let's frame it back in. It needs to be a little bit bigger. The problem is it's not really a way for me to move the map, move the alpha over, unfortunately. Back. Frame. just keeps bringing me back to there. It's not exactly accurate. That. Let's see. I would think offsetting it would affect it, but apparently offset doesn't have any effect on that, so that's not really useful. See how that looks comparatively. Well, at least it looks like it's the right scale. Yeah, I'm not digging it. I'll just go back. Fine, that's fine. Really go back to the side here. Boom. Alright. Alright, there we go. Oh, I get flip that. Frame it. Okay. I got a few other ones here. Let's see. Got this guy. Yeah, it's a little too thin lined. What was it? 8? What was it? Was that 8? Yeah, it's kind of more the same. See, that's not too bad. But how's that going to read or print? Yeah. Something like that would work. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Just pump it down like that. Great. Let's apply that. Great. And then let's bring it all in. Okay. Bring that back. Alright, let me go ahead and do some polishing here. There we go. Now we go kind of soften that up. Alright, let's bring it back in. Okay, that's a lot better. Work with that. You would do the group. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to group polygroup the selected or masked. Boom. Okay, and then alright, let's do something different from that here. Actually, let's see. It could be the pattern itself is oh boy. Okay. Alright. Let's go back to surface. Noise. Edit that. Somehow it's still doing all of that. I don't know why. That was a 6. Now it is 5. Oh, that's, see, that's a lot better. Let's go with that. And then we're going to go ahead and apply that. See, and that's what I was trying to avoid. Let's undo that. Bring that back. There we go. Wait, that. Let's bring that down. There we go. Oh. What do I do? What do I do? Ah, that would help. That would help. Alright. Yeah, that looks really clean now. Yeah. Kind of ties in with the back button right there. I like it. I like it. Cool. Ooh. Oh. How much time has passed? Oh, wow. It's already been an hour. Alright, let's move on. So let's go ahead and unhide that. Great. Dig it. Dig it. Alright, cool. Let's grab this guy. Now, here we go. Bump up this contrast here, and hopefully that'll give me more, I guess, deeper indentations there, so more surface area in that actual area. Where's it? There it is. Alright, we're just gonna do contrast. Do crisp edges. Bump it up some more. Right now it's inflate. I don't want inflate. Contrast again. And then we'll go to do a polish features. Great. How's it look? Okay. Not bad, not bad. Polish by groups. Yeah, it's not, I don't think I'm gonna do anything right now, but probably look better once I get everything in together. Okay, so those are a little bit more crisper. I can even go in and let's see, masking. I'm gonna mask by cavity here. That kind of gives me a little. Let's bump that down a little bit. Give me a little bit more than I want. So I just want to. There we go. That looks good. I'm gonna flip it. Gonna move. Oh, it did not match. Oh no, it did. It did. Maybe that's a little too far. I could also do, with that masked, do inflate balloon. I should also do a similar thing. Actually, I want to do reverse of that. And I should also do the same thing there. And then, let's see. Yeah. You can definitely see the lines are a little more pronounced now. So when this prints, should be more surface area getting printed in this. I can even just go ahead and polish up by features again. Clean it up. Heck, I'll even do like a full, just about 35% polish. Think about it. Sweet time. Oh, it's back. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to. What's that? I didn't want it smooth. Just a little smooth here. Drop that. Great. That looks good. Alright. Moving on. I'll grab this part right here. Let's go ahead and polish this out. Great. That's how it already looks. Oh, a bit better. Now this is a little tiny area, so there's not really a whole lot we can do with this that's going to show up. And for my other previous tests, it's like, or my test prints, I should say, I put patterns on here and they kind of show up. Now this is even a smaller surface area, so I don't even imagine that's going to show well at all. So I'm kind of just mainly concerned with how the transitions are going to happen here. And what I'll just have to do, I little smoothing. Maybe even a trim. Given the amount of polygon surface area there is. Yeah, that wasn't even doing much. Here, let's go ahead and just do it. There we go. Polish my groups. Yeah, it's still a little jagged there. Yeah, so I'll probably have to just trim that up a little bit. So next part, let's see. I want to go back into this subtool. I'm going to go ahead and hide that or mask that off. I'm already seeing this is kind of. There we go. And we'll just do the same thing here. Great. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Now, some of the noises and surface. Here, in fact, let me. Did I even? No, it's still dynamic. It's going to bump it up to 5. Apply that. Great. Let's do a surface on here. Oh, wait. No, it's kind of autosave. All right. Surface, got a noise. Now, the noise plugins are kind of useful. At least I noticed a few of them will do actually the full wraparound. So like if I did like, say for example, a weave, it'll do like herringbone or something. Pop that there. Get rid of the noise. Kind of see it. And you'll see, yeah, there's a little bit of stretching here at some of the angles, the front and the back. So let's change that up. I know so that's not one of them. I think this one will do it. Let's see. I have to go plus on it. And then I probably want to bump that scale up a little bit here, just for better printability. Too good, so let's go back. I'm gonna edit that some more. We'll just see, that goes a little bit different here. Then again, that's just kind of doesn't look too good. Okay, so let's step away from that.